Woman priest is my call. Women preaching for all. Don't listen to St. Paul, cause I can lead the way. My ministry's growing. Excommunication, I'm still glowing. M-div, shouts for flowing. Where you think the church is going? Hey, I was baptized, and this is crazy. But God just called me, so ordain a lady. Justice doesn't look right with only male priests. But God just called me, so ordain a lady.
For a little girl growing up Catholic today, will she ever participate as a clergy member in the church?
No. He shut that down.
Now, y'all know y'all was jamming with me. Y'all was jamming with me until old Pope Francis came in there and just messed it all up now, didn't he? He just messed it all up for you. But, you know, this is almost part of the Renaissance video I did yesterday where I talked about the fake Renaissance, and that is the idea that there is a new enlightenment that is happening, and part of the new enlightenment is the fake version of it, where people are simply just trying to change what the doctrine and dogma of what the Bible has said over generations to make it fit into their modern day culture. Now, do I think that women should be able to preach this message or whatnot? Of course I do. I believe in the equal treatment of everyone. But the Bible just does not. Your Bible does not. Your Bible, Pope Francis is actually right. Your Bible tells your women to keep silent in the churches, for I suffer them not to usurp the authority of a man or to teach. And that is in 1 Corinthians. Go look it up for yourself, and you will be able to find where that's what Paul wrote. And that is why she specifically mentioned Paul. But I'm going to give some women some credit. I'm going to show women where a woman was able to show Jesus that Jesus was wrong, that his thinking was wrong. And if Jesus was God, is God, then how can God be convinced of something that God has spoken? I mean, I know we have the story where Abraham was bartering with God. I know that even after that, God said that, like, dang, my bad. And I know that he even said that he regret making man. And so your God has regrets. And I know that your God in Genesis, the first part of Genesis chapter 2, he said that he had forgot or had not made it rain, which is very kind of vital to the survival of earth. You kind of need some rain. But there's another story in Mark, and it's also in Matthew. I think it's Matthew 14, where it talks about, matter of fact, let me just read it to you. Let me just find it and read it to you, where it's talking about the faith of a Canaanite woman. And it says, leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to him, crying out, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon possessed and suffering terribly. Jesus did not answer a word. His disciples came to him and urged him, send her away, for she keeps crying out after us. So basically, this woman came out crying to Jesus about the fact that her daughter has some demons, and Jesus just like, man, whatever, and ignored the woman. This is how your Jesus, he's supposed to be for everybody, right? You claim that Jesus came for everybody. Jesus is for everybody, loves everybody, right? But when he saw the Canaanite woman crying out, he was like, man, whatever, and kept it moving. But then because she kept crying, the disciples like, will you send this chick away? She's bothering us. Right? And she's a Canaanite woman. So already some of you are already gearing up in your mind and you're not listening. Already gearing up in your mind, well, she was a Canaanite, so why would Jesus help her? And Jesus was thinking the same way. And so so it continues in verse 24. He answered, I was sent only for the lost sheep of Israel. Only. Now, my Hebrew Israelites should like this part. He said, I was sent only for the lost sheep of Israel. So although I know you will come out and say, well, there was the Great Commission to preach the gospel to all the Jews first and then the Gentiles, which I think might be a little, chicanery going on with those Romans and Greeks who wrote your gospels to shoehorn their way in. But it kind of flies in contradiction to when he says that I was sent only for the lost sheep of Israel. Wasn't sent for everybody, just for the Israelite, which showed that it's an Israelite religion, that he still participated in the mindset that they had back in those days, that Yahweh had his portion, and his portion was only the Israelites. That everybody has their own God, and their own God is just for them. And the God Yahweh at this time frame had been taken from the Canaanite pantheon and made only and solely the God of Israel. But you would think Jesus, who's supposed to be God, would not have said that he came only for the lost sheep of Israel. And he said only. And only means only. It don't mean nothing else. It don't mean we'll include you later. It means only. Just that part. Just this. So the woman cried out and knelt before him. Lord, help me. She said, it just says, Lord, help me. She said, and he replied, it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. That's right. He called this Canaanite woman a dog. A dog. Excuse me for a moment. Jesus said, is it not right to take the children's bread and toss it to a bitch? That's what him said. In modern day wording, that's what he said. He called that Canaanite woman the B word. Your Jesus did. I know I just pissed off a lot of y'all with that, but you'll be all right. But he said to toss it to dogs. But this woman, being so desperate for her child, nurturing, she said, yes, it is, Lord. She humbled herself because she believes in this man, that he's been doing these healings all around the place. And so she's willing to humiliate herself for this person to be able to heal her daughter, which is commemorative. Yes, it is, Lord, she said. Even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. You see how she swerved him? See, he thought he had something good. Is it not right to give the children's breads to the dogs? But she put that swerve on him. Even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. See how she did that? That was some quick thinking. And then Jesus said to her, woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted. And her daughter was healed at that moment. So Jesus was standing 10 toes down on the fact that he is only for the Israelites and that Canaanites were dogs. And this woman in particular is the dog. But this woman straight up Machiavellian him, straight frauded him. Sigmund frauded this dude. And he's supposed to be God. And convinced him that he was wrong for how he was thinking. And I know that hurts a lot of you guys' feelings, but you'll be all right. But you can tell that this is just a book that's written by men. And then later on in Matthew, when it says that to go and spread his word to everyone, it kind of flies into the face of this a little bit unless you are willing to accept that Jesus was wrong and the Canaanite dog lady was right. You know, the woman that your God called the dog, you know, that we disrespectfully call women today, which is something that you will rarely ever hear me utter except for in a situation like this, that I'm just explaining something, because no woman is a dog. So yeah, y'all can have y'all Jesus. But always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.